Good morning. Good morning. Okay, let's get right to it. Only have 30 minutes this time. I didn't get up super early, but I thank God that I did get up. Also, thank God. Oh, I'm probably echoing. Yeah, that means I was echoing all night last night too, and nobody told me. Not echoing, but two mics at the same time. And now I'm really confused. That was a couple of that was a couple of days ago. Anyway, it's not that important. It's fine. Um, I'm thankful that I don't have to use an alarm clock to wake up. I wake up naturally every day. And 99 out of 100 times, I wake up on time or with plenty of time. Uh, so I have to start my work at 7 a.m. And I'm thankful that I'm able to wake up naturally for that. Something I'm thankful for. Thankful for the Word of God. I'm staring at Psalm 1, so that's what we're going to read this morning. While you, too, can think of the things that you're thankful for. Allegedly, there are two of you here. Welcome. I'm thankful that you're here. Be thankful. Good morning, Creative Bear. Good morning. Psalm 1. Good morning, Gabby the cat. I think, Gabby the cat, you're the one that posted the video from Virginia. I think I attributed my thankfulness to you to the wrong person last night, but maybe you were here last night and I thanked you already. But yeah, I saw the Virginia video and I was thankful. Disturbed, but thankful. Let's see here. Let's see. Gabby the cat. The title of the video was Tyrant Alert. Cops show up at man's property or something. It cuts off. But yeah, Gabby the cat. Yep. Thank you for that video. Um, I'm not always a lot of the cop stuff and what's going on, I get really tired of. Um, and I didn't even want to follow the Virginia thing at all because I tried not to put uh, too much of the negativity in my brain and eyes. But but that was worth sharing, and I'm glad you shared it. So yeah. Anyway, um, let's do some of this. I mentioned this verse last night as I was addressing a follower of Jesse Lee Peterson. Maybe that's an overstatement. I pray that it is an overstatement, but I'm thankful for I'm thankful for Scripture. So here goes. This is it's a very very important words here. Hello, Scalspare. Blessed, happy, fortunate, prosperous, and enviable is the man who walks and lives not in the counsel of the ungodly, following their advice, their plans, and purposes, nor stands submissive and inactive in the path where sinners walk, nor sits down to relax and rest where the scornful and the mockers gather. Just that one verse, guys. Wow. Wow. Well, thank you, Scalespare. But his delight and desire are in the law of the Lord, and on his law, the precepts, the instructions, the teachings of God, he habitually meditates, ponders, and studies by day and by night. And he shall be like a tree firmly planted and tended by the streams of water, ready to bring forth its fruit in its season. Its leaf also shall not fade or wither, and everything he does shall prosper and come to maturity. Not so the wicked, those disobedient and living without God are not so, but they are like the chaff, worthless, dead, without substance, which the wind drives away. Therefore the wicked, those disobedient and living without God, shall not stand justified in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous, those who are upright and in right standing with God. For the Lord knows and is fully acquainted with the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly, those living outside of God's will, shall perish, end in ruin, and come to naught. Morning, homestead bound bear. Okay, so I want to read this verse again and break it down. Again, very thankful, and let's dwell on our thankfulness. I'm thankful for this verse. Man, this is this will turn your mind to gravy. It really will, though. And if it doesn't, I'll just read it in Hebrew until it does. uh, okay. Blessed is the man who walks and not and and lives not. So walks action. Think of think of the action in contrast to the following two. Who walks and lives not in the counsel of the ungodly. And then the Amplified Classic further defines what walks and lives means, following their advice, their plans, their purposes. Taking that section, who should you be taking advice from? Who should you be uh, thinking of uh, getting inspiration for your planning from? Whose purposes should you be supporting? Well, I can tell you who not, according to this verse. The ungodly. Who are the ungodly? Those who are against God. Who are those that are against God? Those that deny the Christ, the Messiah, the Dalai Lama, the any guru, uh, Jordan Peterson types. It doesn't say uh, anything here about wisdom. Wisdom's meaningless if if the person is ungodly. Because what wisdom do they even have? To clean your room? I'd say God's wisdom is a little bit further advanced than that. Not so specious. So here's the reason that I use that word so much. I use that word so much, specious, because of how frequently I see people getting caught up in superficial arguments that sound really good without being a little bit more critical. I see people having a critical, employing their critical thinking skills. I do see that too. But there's a whole lot of people that are like, yeah, that sounds really good. And I don't know if you watched the interview between Owen and Ole, German guy thing, but I was the one that commented at the end after that guy's prayer. Um, I was the one that said, sounds Luciferian. And Owen read the comment. He was like, sounds Luciferian? Relax. And I understand why he would say that. It's a little annoying and frustrating to it's a little annoying and frustrating to be a Debbie Downer. If you'll notice, he reads a lot of my comments, but I think he has reasons that I can only guess as to why he won't say my username, screen name, whatever. Username, that sounds so weird. Screen name. Anyway, I'm still trying to figure it out, actually. It's a little interesting to me. Yeah, I can still read that. It's amazing. Thank the Lord my eyesight isn't so bad that I can't read size 28 font. I'm guesstimating, but anyway, it's a little blurry. It's all good though. All right. So the next section. So how you live your life. You're not getting your advice from the ungodly. Some of this stuff should be common sense, but it's not. I over and over again, I wonder if common sense is a psyop. I mean, it could just be in the nature of the generation that I live in, but I don't know, guys. I mean, we saw and talked about how the law of God is written on our hearts, but that's not the same as what they mean by common sense. I really have some feelings about common sense that it might not exist, but why is there? Ah, it's ah, sorry, I just can't see out of my eyes. Okay, here we go. Good. North stands. So first it's walks and lives. The next is stands, which represents submissiveness and inactivity in the path where sinners walk. So it doesn't say nor stands with sinners who stand. It's talking about if you're submissive and inactive and a pushover, so to speak, in the place where sinners are living their life, um, waving their rainbow flag in your face or anything like that. You say nothing, you do nothing, mocking God, whatever. Well, that's kind of the next. But this verse, in a lot of ways, specifically what blessed means, it's not just about blessings that will come your way. It's also about the blessings that are an intrinsic result of adhering to this verse. So as you stand for truth, as you stand against lies, it will be a blessing to you, even in your soul, in your heart. And then finally, nor sits down to relax and rest where the scornful and the mockers gather. And that would be like, I was going to come up with examples for all three, but this one for some reason just came to mind. That'd be like going on Discord and finding an atheist server, and instead of being there to declare the truth, you just listened to everything that they had to say, and you that's how you relaxed. You're like some people would, you know, well, gosh, there's probably I don't even watch modern television, so I'm not really aware, but there's hundreds of shows I'm sure that are violent towards God, mocking of God, and if that's your form of entertainment and relaxation, that's what this is referring to, being against. So if you got your rest and your relaxation from uh, entertainment and or among those um, that are against God, what a sad state. What a sad state of your soul. And it won't be good for your soul. In short, just in case anybody needs a little bit of extra help here, um, you're tired, you're worn out, you feel powerless. It's fine to feel powerless. Your power comes from God anyway. So if you're feeling powerless, you just need to recognize that this verse is a big part of how you get your power. It's not the only. See, what it means to abide. What it means to abide and rest in and plug into the tree, to, to be a branch on the tree. It means to be in His Word, and it also does mean these things here. Do not live in the counsel of ungodly. So, if that's not what you're supposed to do, you should be living in the counsel of the godly. You should be following advice of those who love the Lord. You should be analyzing and studying and trying to understand the plans of the godly, the purposes, and discerning those things. You should never stand complicit to sin. You know, if you're in a crowd of people, this is a stupid example. Sometimes I just give stupid examples, make it personal, you know. But if you're in a crowd of people and everybody's got a little piece of wood with the oil rag wrapped on it, torches, a torch, and they're passing torches around. You just happen to be there, and they're about to go torch, I don't know, Burning Man or some psychotic nonsense. Don't just take the torch and go with the flow. Don't do that. It's retarded. Most of you already know that, but that was a stupid example. Sometimes stupid examples might elicit a more true to life example that is relevant to you, though. Maybe you know, or Lord willing, that's not the kind of life that you live, and uh, you stand for the truth, you stand for the law of God, you stand for grace, and but not submissiveness. Grace is proactive, guys. Remember that. Don't let specious arguments throw you off track in regards to God's grace. Grace isn't a haphazard, lazy, submissive observer of sin. Grace is very proactive. It has to be. Same with mercy, but grace especially. Grace especially. Anyway, um, Yeah. So I would argue that you probably shouldn't stand uh, submissive and inactive even amongst the godly, but it's probably a false dichotomy here because there's no, well, there's, when it says where sinners walk, it's referring to those being disobedient to God's law. And though everyone is a sinner, I think that this is a universal statement that stands true, um, where there's not necessarily a second category. Well, well, then if you're not standing submissive and inactive in a path where sinners walk, then make sure to stand submissive and inactive in a path where non-sinners walk. I I would just say in regards to that, there is no other, there is no inverse to this section. There is only not standing submissive and inactive. I mean, you could inverse it and you could say stand active, stand actively and pursue leadership among those obedient to God's law. Yeah, I mean that would be that would be the other side of that one. And then nor sits down, relaxes and rests where the scornful and the mockers gather. And what that can mean, not saying it absolutely does, but it could mean to rest amongst those who worship and praise God. That is a place of rest. Uh, Many of you already know that to be true in your own lives, that when you're among those that love God, it is peaceful. You don't have to you don't have to exactly be on edge. When you are with two or three, maybe even one person who loves God, you can rest. You have peace. But anyone that sits down to relax and rest where the mockers, and you know what this is talking about. It's not like just chatty Cathy that is gossiping, though it could mean that too. Um, the lady that gossips about all the other neighbors or whatever. It could mean that too, but I would take that more so likely to mean the mockers of God. And then, of course, it goes into the law. Anyway, robbing my name. I don't, I don't know. Do you want me to say Robin instead of not Christ-like? I am confused. Um, Lord's face shine upon you. That's what I meant to say. Speak to my phone. Sometimes it messes up. What happened? Oh, okay. Gotcha. God bless you and your family. I pray that Lord make it shine. Okay, gotcha. Thank you, not Christ-like. Um, he is our provider. People oftentimes forget. And you could just finish the sentence there, but people oftentimes forget that our breath, our very next breath, it doesn't mean, I mean, why would you live in fear? If you understood his love, you wouldn't live in fear of that reality that he's providing each and every breath. You can just drop instantaneously. Many people have. Many people have talked about the brevity of life, pastors, so on and so on, and they preach sermons about God being able to take you at any time, and then they die of a heart attack. The fact that the chance, I'll put it this way, the chance that God used that as an object lesson is pretty tremendous. But based on what you would hope from a pastor, that they would be walking with God, it's not scary or bad by any means. I haven't been to a church in a while. I usually come online and listen to people who are doing Bible studies, worship stream. Hoping to go to church on Sunday. Um, find one or two other believers at the very least. Um, Need to wrap this up because it's almost 7. I would recommend to find one or two other believers at the very least and read the Word, read the Bible with them, and that's church. Some people take issue with that. Um, there's certainly benefits from higher levels of organization, but it's definitely a good place to start. Something very amazing when it comes to fellowship, very encouraging, and I know that this is one thing. Yeah, we all do though. When things are going good, you need it even more. When things are going bad, you need it. You want it, you need it. But it's even more important when you think things are going good in your life because, you know, pride goeth before the fall. One of my favorite verses. I enjoy sharing that with others. Got you. Of course, Creator Bear. It's fine. All right. Well, time's almost up. Let me say this. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. Do that. And be the man, be the woman who walks and lives not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stands in the path where sinners walk, nor sits down where the scornful gather. Be that man or woman and delight and desire. Your delight and desire need to be in the law of the Lord and on his law. On his law, you need to habitually meditate by day and by night. What does habitually mean? And how is habitually different than ritual? It doesn't say ritualistically, it says habitually. Anyway, all right. Well, that's that. Start my day with my push-ups and do my job. Be thankful today. It's Thursday. It's Thursday. Push-up time.